Hey, what's up? Welcome back to, again, the Brett Marno video podcast, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. The Thursday segment I've decided to call Thursday Thoughts, or Thoughts on a Thursday, or Thinking Thursday. Something to do with thoughts. I actually had there was some good feedback from the video that I put up yesterday, 2 days ago, one of the videos. Actually, no, it was the one I put up on Tuesday because it was about, the response was, I think you said something like, it's interesting that you'd say this, you'd say it's interesting, you gotta know what you want, but also you should know what to want. Because you want to make sure that the stuff you ended up wanting is the right stuff to want. I actually, I find that to be an interesting sort of standpoint, an interesting viewpoint, but I also find it to be a little bit dangerous in a lot of ways. Because how could you possibly know that what you want is not something to want? Or if what you want is bad? It's hard because we're talking about technology, right? So like, it's hard to say, you know, a particular technology is good or bad, right? There are some. Well, you can't really say that the particular technology is good or bad, I don't think. I mean, intrinsically, technology is not bad or good. It just is. It's more just like how you would use it. But I think the point that he was making was that you don't want to have gotten into a particular technology or gotten into a particular thing. And probably just, if we get rid of the technology angle on it and just talk about wants and desires, you don't want to like go after something that turns out to be a bad thing. Well, here's the big question. I think there are some things that are somewhat obvious going into it that they're bad. But really that's just based on historical evidence. I mean, the only thing we really have that's going to say that a particular desire or a particular course of action is going to end up being a detriment either to oneself or to the people that are surrounding you is that somebody else has done something similar and it's turned out badly for them. But other than that, I don't think that it makes any sense to try and limit your desires before you even bring them to fruition. I mean, if you really want something, if in your heart of hearts you know that you want something, I don't think that it makes any sense for you to try and shortchange that by saying, "Oh, but I shouldn't want that because of whatever reason." Because the fact of the matter is you do want it. Whether or not you should or shouldn't, and whether or not you can even say that you should or shouldn't want something, the fact of the matter is you do actually want it. Now, I would be the last person to try and profess that I know how to change one's desires, because I don't have a clue. I do, however, know that a lot of times what happens is you think you want something, and so you go after it, and when you get it, you realize that you didn't want it. That's not actually what you wanted. You wanted something else. And that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I think that is called learning. I think that's the process of living, is just going through this process of thinking you want something, going after it, getting it, realizing, oh, maybe I wanted this part of it, but I didn't want the whole thing. And then sort of going on from there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting for a goal and achieving it and then changing your mind, realizing that you want something else. That's life. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to get in halfway into something and realize, I don't actually want this. Now, I would probably submit that if you decide that you want something, you kind of have to see it through. If you commit to it, I would say that you should see it through at least before you decide excuse me, before you decide one way or the other, right? Whether you actually wanted it or not. Because otherwise it's just like it's very easy for you just to make excuses and give up. And say, oh, I just don't want it, but really you're just giving up. But I think that it is okay to want things. I think it's okay to want whatever it is that you want, and I think it's okay to change your mind if you get what you thought you wanted and it turns out to not be what you thought it was, or turns out to have had bad consequences or whatever. And I think that really is my real response to that question. Well, what happens if how do I make sure that I want good things? Well, you can't. You just want what you want, and you got to go for it, and you got to put yourself out there. And if it turns out that what you wanted led to bad things, then you course correct. Or you stick with bad things, and that becomes your thing, and that's fine, right? It's not for me to judge. Now, if your choices that end to bad things, it means bad things for me, then or me or my family or the people that I care about, that means that's something else. But I mean, if you're gonna cause harm to yourself, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it if I don't. I mean, unless you come to me and you say I'm doing this and I'm hurting myself, then it becomes a choice that I make to get involved. But anyway, that's kind of a little tangent. So I think the Thursday thought for this week is get clear on what you want and just be honest. You don't have to it's not about trying to be righteous. It's not about trying to be politically correct. It's not about trying to be, it's not about trying to say the right thing or to say the best thing or to say the thing that's the best easily quotable. No, just get honest about what you want. Be real with yourself about what you actually want, and then go for it. And then when you get to the point where you have achieved what you thought you wanted, be real with yourself again and just think, did I really want that? Do I want that now? And maybe it changes, and maybe it doesn't. But if you're real and honest with yourself, I think you'll find what I found in my experience, and this whole being real with myself is somewhat new to me. My experience has been in the time that I have been doing this, is that most of the lessons that I need to learn in life, the answers are right in here. I mean, you know what you want because it's the thing that you're hiding from. And you know how you feel about things, and you know the lessons that need to be learned from those because those are the lessons that are going to come from inside. So you can't really be told too much. You kind of just need to experience it. So again, just get clear on what you want and be honest with yourself about what you want and go for that. And don't be afraid to change your mind. You're allowed to do that. That's kind of how life works. Cool. Today is a little bit less ranty. I think I wasted all of my energy on my rant yesterday. So this is a little bit more mellow, a little bit more calm. So hope you all have a great Thursday. I hope you find as much joy and liberation as I have found in being brutally honest with myself about what I want. And I hope you can find the energy and the excitement in finally chasing the things that you actually want. Because that, my friend, is a beautiful thing. Rock it out. Peace.